The Egyptians knew about this a long time ago. They didn't really know they knew, because they acted things out in drama and portrayed them mythologically because they didn't have the capacity to articulate the ideas fully. But the Egyptians worshipped the human eye. And they worshipped the eye because they knew the eye was the thing that paid attention. Like, we're really visual creatures, and your eye is automatically attracted to the things that manifest themselves or shine forth in front of you. And you have to look at them. If you pay attention to the things that shine forth, because what you're seeing is the reality instead of the map, you're gaining access to the real information that's in the world. It's not prepackaged information, because that can be false. It's the real information flowing out from the ground of being, and if you pay attention to that, it will help you move towards the goals that you've already established for yourself as a good citizen, that are part of the inbuilt value structure that you've adopted. But at the same time, it will do something else. It will lead you to transform the nature of those goals. Because as you pursue the thing that guides your interest, and more information is revealed, then by absorbing that information, which is learning essentially, you build yourself into a different person, a stronger and more informed person, and a more intact person, a person with more integrity and with more strength and with more direction. And at the same time, you differentiate your map, and so you're living more and more in the real world. So as you approach your specific goal, even if it's a culturally conditioned goal, the learning that you do along the way transforms you, and it transforms the nature of your goal. Things shine forth. And there's a reason for that. And you know that because when you're attending to something you're interested in and you're engaged in it, that's when you're alive. That's when life is worthwhile. It's so worthwhile that in those moments you don't even ask the question about it. The question itself goes away. Because the meaning that you're united with is so powerful that it can push back the adversity that would otherwise characterize life. Nietzsche said, the person who has a why can bear any how. And that's a really useful thing to know, because you think, well, we're very vulnerable creatures and our life ends catastrophically and terrible things happen, and how can we bear that? And the answer to that is, and always has been, that you have to be in sync with something that's beyond you, because that synchrony gives you the strength that you need to bear your terrible limitations. You see this played out. People know this. Everyone knows this. It's just that our culture isn't good at articulating it. We've lost a lot of this. We haven't developed our knowledge about this as much as we've developed our knowledge of the objective world, and we're paying for it. You see it in weird places. On the right here, there's an old symbol at the bottom. It's called the round chaos. And the alchemists believed that the round chaos was the thing that held what the world was ultimately made of, the thing that was most real, and they conceptualized it as something like information. They thought about it as a combination of spirit and matter. And it was a combination of spirit and matter, which is what information is in a sense, because when you interacted with it, you took some of the information and you built yourself out of it, so that was the spiritual element, and you took some of the information and you built the world out of it, and that was the material element. And they thought of the reality itself as something that preceded the spiritual and the material, and that reality was what shone forth. And that's been dramatized in tales, modern tales of transformation. The most interesting place it's popped up is in the Harry Potter stories, where central to the Harry Potter theme is a game called Quidditch. And in Quidditch, which is a game, the way you win the game is by playing a game that's sort of outside the Quidditch game. You win the Quidditch game by following this thing that beckons, this golden thing that glimmers and moves around. If you catch that, then you win the game, and so does your whole team. And inside that is the resurrection stone. It's a diamond. It's a jewel. The idea is that if you follow the thing that manifests itself to you as interesting, it will lead you through adversity. It will lead you to do things that are difficult, and as that happens, but not beyond your capacity, because it's tempered for that. What will happen is, as you hit yourself against the world, pursuing what you're interested in, you'll tap yourself into alignment. Your molecules, your structure, internal structure will become non-contradictory, like the internal structure of a jewel, which is something that reflects light. That makes you hard and durable, and able to bear the terrible conditions of existence without becoming corrupt. T.S. Eliot said something about this. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started, and to know the place for the first time. And that's a 5-line summary of the most remarkable elaboration of the nature of the relationship between the individual human consciousness and reality itself that's ever been penned, and the culmination of a system of thought that's been developing over thousands and thousands of years, which we have lost and cannot properly articulate. Follow what you're interested in. It'll take you to adversity, and then through it, it'll transform you from a citizen into an individual, and then the doors will open again. And at that point, you're strong enough to have your life. And at that point, you're strong enough not to fall prey to pathological belief systems and work towards the destruction of things. Thank you.